story of this guy named Quinn Cook. He's now an NBA champion, but he started out in the D League. From the D League to NBA championship in days. He won the NBA championship this year, right? This guy Quinn Cook is on there, and this guy started in D League. I saw them talking about it. I saw Kevin Durant and Steph Curry congratulating him and stuff like that. And I saw a little clip about him coming from the D League, and it intrigued me. And I just felt inspired to like research his story and find out more about him. And the more I found out, the more inspiring it was. The more it was just like I told so many people this story already because it's a story of not giving up and trusting the path that you're on. And I gotta tell you that this man is amazing. He's amazing. He's an amazing ball player, but he's even more amazing man of like faith, and perseverance. So this guy was on Duke. He was on Duke in college, and they won the title, and had high hopes of being in the NBA. He was a great player, but he didn't end up getting drafted. Three of his other friends got drafted. He didn't get drafted. Very crushing, right? I saw a video and he's talking about how crushing it was to him and his family. And his three other guys on the team went, but he didn't, and he's a great player. So, whatever, he ends up in the D League, went to developmental league or the G League. It's basically it's not the NBA. It's a place that you have an opportunity to play, and if a team wants to come and pick somebody up from in there, they can. But nobody's happy about going to the D League, right? Put it this way: the salary in the D League is like 20,000 a year. The minimum salary in the NBA is over 1 million, like minimum. So anyway, he's in the D League, and he's playing very well. He's got a good attitude. He just his attitude, and he's playing very well. He gets picked up by a team, and he gets dropped in a few days. Okay, let's keep going. Keeps going. He gets picked up by another team. Gets dropped in a few days. I don't know about you, but just one time, just freaking going to the D League in the beginning is disheartening. But then go ahead and get picked up and getting dropped a few days later, that's disheartening. And then doing it again, and by now he's got to be questioning himself and questioning his ability. Like, am I really made for the NBA? Am I, is this a pipe dream? Should I give up and things like that? Then he gets Rookie of the Year in the D League. Now this probably encouraged him, and then he gets another offer, and then he gets dropped again in a few days. Like, I don't know what this guy is made of, but I mean, to be like picked up and dropped this many times, 3 times, right? 3 times, and still keep going. And obviously, he had a good attitude because next year he was in the All Star game in the D League and he became the MVP of the All Star, right? So somehow he perseveres. Somehow, and I saw in interviews he says, I just believe that I'm supposed to be in the NBA. He believed that he was supposed to be in the NBA, and he just held on to that belief. Then he gets picked up again and dropped. Picked up again and dropped. 4 times in days. He's not spending like months in the NBA. He's spending like days in the NBA, like 3 games, 6 games, if that. Gets dropped again. Now, I don't know about you. I don't even know if I'm good enough for that. I don't even know if I could carry on after getting dropped 4 times, put in the D League, and then getting dropped. You're gonna question yourself. You're gonna say, "Am I good enough?" You know. And I'm sure people around him was telling him, you need to give up on this. Then he gets an offer to go to Russia to play ball internationally. Now they're gonna pay him hundreds of thousands of dollars. He turns it down. He turns it down because he says that if he goes to Russia, if he goes international, he knows he's going to ruin his chances of his dream of playing in the NBA. Amazing. Amazing to do that, to turn down something that, he needs that money. I'm assuming he needs that money. I don't think he comes from a wealthy family, you know. All of that money, a new career, and he's turning that down to stay in the NBA. I'm sure people around him is like, dude, what are you doing? You're crazy. You need to take that, this thing is over. You already picked up by 4 teams. The NBA doesn't want you. You need to quit. And then, lastly, another team signs him for training camp. And now this is 2 years in the D League, right? So signs him for training camp, and then drops and cuts him. And I don't know what's going on in his head at that moment in time, but I think I would be like done. done, done, done. But then 4 days later, he gets signed by the Warriors. And he gets signed by the Warriors because Steph Curry is injured. And they needed somebody to replace him, and he was perfect for that. Perfect. And he gets in, and he plays his ass off. Scores 28 points in games. He's doing amazing for the Warriors. And then they pick him up for the playoffs. They sign him to go in the playoffs. He goes in the playoffs, and now he's an NBA champion. Just like that. From toiling in the D League for 2 years, being picked up and dropped 4, 5 times to finally get in the NBA. And just like that, in weeks, he's an NBA champion. That's a huge turnaround. He could not have seen that coming. Nobody can see that coming. And I looked into his the other guys that got picked up, his friends that actually got drafted from the beginning. Those guys, to him, he's probably thinking, these guys are so lucky. They're so, like what happened to me? Like they got picked up, and look at me, I'm in the D League. It's not fair. I can't believe it. Blah blah blah. It probably looks like the worst thing that could happen to him, and it was the best thing to happen to him. Those guys, got one guy's on Miami, one guy's on the Nets, one guy's on I think Milwaukee or Wisconsin or something like that. I'm in Minnesota, and you know what? Those teams are not winning anytime soon, in my opinion, and in most people's opinion. And they can be traded and things can happen, but most likely is not. This guy was in the D League, and now he's in the best team in the NBA, a dynasty team, a team that's won 3 times already, 2 times in a row. He's in the best position to continue winning and winning and winning. And he's already signed for next year with the Warriors. How amazing is that? When you think that nothing is going your way, when you think that everything is wrong, when you think that this shit is just not right, like I'm not anywhere closer to my dream, when you've been shut down a million times, when you start questioning yourself and your ability and can you do this, this dude was like, I can. And he kept going. And he held on to it. He even turned down the opportunity that would have been a settling opportunity. Because we all get those settling opportunities. Well, it's not what I really wanted, but I mean, it's better than nothing. He didn't go for that. He was like, I want what I want, what I want. I'm sticking with that. And went from just like that, from down in the D League to an NBA champ. You know how many people are NBA champions? You know how many people that's amazing players, Hall of Fame players that's not even NBA champions? He has gotten an incredible gift to be on that incredible team, to have a ring within weeks of playing in the NBA, not seasons, not even a full season, weeks. When you look at it in hindsight, he was way better off than his teammates that got drafted. He was the lucky one. But this is how it works in life. A lot of times you're not going to be able to see it. It's going to look like everything's jacked up. It's going to look like everything's going in the wrong direction. You have to trust your dream. You have to trust your gut. You have to stay in faith and know that everything is working for your favor. And somehow in this crazy mess, you're going to emerge and things are going to work out even better than you could imagine. Because I know this worked out better than he could have imagined. And I know what the kicker is. The first team that dropped him was Cleveland. The team that they beat to win the NBA Finals, to get that ring, was Cleveland. The first team that dropped him was Cleveland, and the last team they had to beat for him to get his ring was Cleveland. How fucking sweet is that? Damn, that's gotta feel like a sweet feeling, man. This guy's got a ring, but I gotta tell you something. What's more important than that ring is who he is, man. That perseverance, that trust, that belief in himself and in God or the universe or whatever he believes in, it's going to take him way further than that. He keeps on and hold on to that. And I want you guys to think about him when you feel like you can't do it anymore, when you feel like things is messed up, when you feel like things are not working in your way, when you feel like everything is working against you. Believe that you're the lucky one and you just can't see it. You're the lucky one. You're the one that is going to make your dreams come true. And all of this stuff that's happening to you is actually working for your good. And just like Steve Jobs said, right now, in looking forward, you can't see it. But in hindsight, you'll be able to connect all of the dots.